Our next caller is Scott from Texas.
Scott, what's happening?
What's up,
What's
man?
going on, guys? How y'all doing today?
We're good, man. How can we help you?
Man, I sent a question to you guys. It's probably it's a big ask, or maybe maybe pie in the sky. I don't know. I'm an aging surfer. Okay, 57 years old, and I've stayed physical. I've worked out. I've played sports when I was younger, all the way up, but I never really knew the right way to lift weights. I just kind of would see other guys lifting, and I would lift and mimic, monkey see, monkey do kind of stuff. And I was wondering if you guys had some kind of program, or one of your MAPS programs would fit what a surfer would need. Stronger legs, endurance in the shoulders. Some of those areas, I have no idea how, but my back is kind of underdeveloped, and glutes and hams not really where they should be. So I think that when I surf better waves, I feel those deficiencies more. And I just recently tuned into y'all's podcast and have learned already a lot of things, and just immense respect for you guys, and would like to know what y'all's take on that would be.
How often are you surfing?
Fun question.
How
often are you surfing?
Well, since April, none. I had rotator cuff labrum surgery right here, so I'm still kind of in a rehab phase. But once that's behind me, man, it's every week a couple of times, and of course when we travel, it's every single day while we're travel somewhere.
15 performance.
Yeah. How long are you? How long is a surf session for you when you're doing it?
Okay, that's great. So in Texas, it's 3 or 4 hours. Okay, and we have a rule unspoken. It's 15 minutes of paddle for 15 seconds of actual ride, to kind of put it into perspective. Okay. So you're using more of your shoulders a lot more for that period of time than you are your legs. Now, when you travel and you get in better waves, different places in the world, it's, I don't want to say the opposite. There's a lot more standing up, though, when you get in better waves.
Yeah, that's very active. Yeah, MAPS 15 performance would be perfect for you.
Yep, fit for you, yeah.
That would be, and you could do it when you're surfing, when you're not surfing, with a perfect routine. Of course, once you're given the green light for strength training after your surgery.
Right. Yesterday, I got cleared for work, climbing ladders and stuff, where I work in a plant that's necessary. But he wants to wait till the end of September to go back and get the green light for surfing, chopping wood, climbing trees, all that good stuff. Fun stuff, all of us.
15 performance, easy.
Yeah,
You'll love it.
We're going to send that to you. That's the right program for you.
Easy.
Right on.
Yep.
And I guess the older you get, the more building muscle is important. You're training in your 50s to be able to climb up and down the stairs when you're 70. And I guess it will help stuff like that too. Huh?
Not only that, but keep this in mind, Scott, when you are surfing as much as you are, we would treat you like an in-season athlete, like a professional athlete. And when you're compliment it. When you're doing that, the goal is actually to not get injured. You're not going to build a lot of muscle when you're surfing six days a week or whatever like that. Like you got so much activity. That's your real physical work. And then really a lot of the focus is more around mobility and protecting your joints. And that's why MAPS 15 performance is kind of perfect.
Sense.
That's right. And then you're going to have periods of time when maybe you're not surfing, say that's not related to injury, but maybe like in the winter time, 2-3 months, where that's when we kind of get after lifting weights during that period of time. And then we back off the lifting of the weights really hard when you get more in season. And so that's the key to keeping you strong, building muscle, and protect all those joints from getting injured. Where most athletes go wrong is they try and maintain their volume of lifting weights during their season when they're riding or when they're playing their sport a lot.
It's just too much.
And it's just too much. Yeah. It's just too much.
Both sides that time, you're just kind of hitting it from all directions.
That's
and
right.
You fatigue.
That's right.
Get injured.
And that's where injury happens.
In MAPS 15 performance, you could do over and over and over again. You don't have to
lots
switch
of functional exercises in there that'll address things too. Plus, like the thought with a lot of athletes is to improve what they're already doing with that very specific movement. Whereas, if you're going to focus a little bit more on strengthening some of the weak points and some of the maybe like the eccentric parts. So like maybe a lot of times like it's the brakes that we need to address, slowing you down, or the other like rotating forces or lateral forces that you're not considering within those movements. And so to build around that support system and really get a nice integrity around your shoulder joints and, knees and everything else, that's vital to keep your success going long term.
I also would consider you're a great candidate we have a Concierge program that we don't promote and talk about. It's just something that we have behind the scenes. And what that is you meet with one of our personal trainers once a month, and they're just modifying and changing your program, customizing it for you and your current needs. That's it. You just meet with them. It's a virtual call. They'll go over your current diet. They'll go over your current exercises that you're doing, whatever program they have you on, and then they'll modify and change exercises based on like very specific goals. And you have very specific goals based off of what you're trying to accomplish, and that changes, I'm sure, throughout the year. And so that's something, if you want one of our coaches to reach out to you, they can kind of explain how that works.
I love that.
Okay, cool. I'll have them do that, Scott.
Heck yeah, that kind of like, you know, it is a constant sense of adjusting, because, you know, like it's very specific what your legs do sometimes, and then your arms, it's just, it's not your typical workout program. I would imagine most surfers would really respond to a lot of the different tweaks and stuff that y'all
Absolutely.
You're a perfect example for somebody this is perfect for, is because and it's actually for trainers, this is like one of our favorite things to do, is like take a base program and then now I got to customize it and tweak it for your very specific goal. So we'll send over Maps 15 Performance, so you got that, and then I'll have one of my trainers call you, and then they can lay that all out for you.
Rad. Way cool. I appreciate that. Big time, guys.
You got it, man.
Right on, Scott.
Right on, dude.
Thanks, Scott.
Y'all take it.
Of course he does the hang loose. You know, it's funny.
Cool.
Surfing, I don't know if you guys knew this. Part of this is culture, but the other part of it, I think there's truth to it. Do you know what the number one form of exercise that the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys would say is the best for Jiu-Jitsu? Surfing. The old school Brazilian guys, the Gracies, were like, just surf. It makes you incredible at Jiu-Jitsu. Part of it's culture, the Brazilian culture, beach all the time. But then a lot of jiu-jitsu guys would just swear by it. I think it has to do with just the way you're fighting the waves.
I was going to say core, a lot of pooling, like with the driving, some of that, like
the stamina,
constant
strength,
movement
stability.
variation. And then you have to have explosive movement to be able to catch the wave.
Yeah. Do you surf? Have you ever surfed?
Yeah, I have, but I'm not like I wouldn't ever claim to be a surfer, because like that's a whole culture.
Not like everybody thinks they think he's like.
I've done it quite a few times, but I'm not like
everybody thinks he's the big
I can't
surfer.
even paddle.
I sink in the water.